The day had arrived when I would perform in the big concert, but my mind was elsewhere. I had just received the invitation to perform in New York, a huge opportunity for my violin career. Yet, there was a problem. My parents were planning to move to Germany for my sister Christine's treatment. I knew how important it was for them, but I also couldn't ignore this chance to prove myself. I had worked so hard for this. The question was, should I go for my dreams or stay with my family when they needed me the most? My parents had always put Christine first, and I was used to sacrificing my dreams for her. But now, I was being asked to choose between the concert and my family. I overheard my parents talking that night. "Mandy will come with us," my dad said, but I knew they couldn't easily give up on Christine. I felt torn between two worlds, one that wanted me to stay with my family, and one that pushed me toward my dream. The choice wasn't simple. I loved Christine, but I couldn't give up my dreams any longer. The situation became even more complicated when my grandparents suggested that I stay with them while my parents took Christine to Germany. At first, it sounded like a good idea, but the more I thought about it, the more hurt I felt. My parents never explained things to me directly. I felt left out and abandoned. I had always been the one left behind, and now it seemed like I was being pushed away again. I wanted answers, but I never got them. All I had was my violin and the endless questions in my mind. My father's voice was shaky when he finally came to see me. He explained that Christine's health had improved, but her recovery was taking longer than expected. And then, just as I was preparing for the concert of my life, my father asked if I could visit Christine. "She's asking for you," he said. My heart sank. After so many years of silence, why was he asking now? Why didn't he come to me sooner? I wanted to shout at him, but I held it in. I was angry, confused, and unsure of what to do next. I looked at my father, seeing how much pain he was in. It wasn't easy for him either, but his return to ask for my help made me feel even more confused. I didn't understand why he stayed away all this time. 7 years of silence, and now he expected me to come running when Christine needed me. "I'm sorry," my father said, his voice trembling. "Please, Mandy, could you meet Christine?" I stood there, my mind racing. I couldn't just ignore him, but I also couldn't ignore my dreams. What was I supposed to do? "I understand," I said quietly. My voice didn't match my emotions. Inside, I was a whirlwind of confusion and anger. Why did they leave me for so long? Why was this happening now? I wanted to scream, but instead, I just nodded. Christine needed me, and despite everything, I couldn't say no. But my feelings were a mess. I was torn between the concert that could change my life and my family, who had neglected me for so many years. I had to go, but it felt like I was giving up part of myself. The morning of the concert, I stood backstage, feeling the pressure of the moment. The stage was set, and the air was buzzing with excitement. But my mind kept drifting back to Christine. I thought about how she had always been the center of attention in our family, and now she was calling for me. My father's words echoed in my head. "She wants to see you." I was nervous about the concert, but I also knew I couldn't let my family down again. I had to make a choice, but I wasn't sure which one was right. The concert venue was huge, and as I stepped inside, I was immediately struck by the beauty of the stage. The lights sparkled, and everything seemed so perfect. The staff were rushing around, making last-minute adjustments. I was excited, but overwhelmed. "Mandy Anderson?" someone called, and I turned to see the concert organizer approaching me. He smiled warmly and asked if I wanted to see the stage before heading back to the hotel. I agreed, hoping it would calm my nerves. I needed to focus, but everything felt like it was happening so fast. "It's beautiful," I said, looking at the stage with awe, "but I'm a bit nervous." The pressure was building, and I didn't know how to handle it. "Don't worry," the organizer reassured me. "You've worked hard. You'll do great." His words were comforting, but they didn't ease the anxiety building inside me. This performance was everything to me, and yet I couldn't stop thinking about Christine. Would this concert be enough to prove my worth to my family? Or was I simply chasing a dream that would never be realized. As I walked back to the hotel, I took out the crumpled ticket stub from my pocket. It was something I had kept all these years, a reminder of the concerts I had promised to share with Christine. Her voice echoed in my head, asking me to play for her. I had always dreamed of sharing my music with her, but so much had changed. The years of silence had created a gap between us. Still, I couldn't shake the hope that this performance would bridge that gap. Maybe it would be the moment that brought us back together. Back at the hotel, I called my grandmother. Her warm voice made me feel less alone. I told her about the concert and how nervous I was. She listened patiently, offering simple words of encouragement. "You've always been strong, Mandy," she said. "Remember why you started playing." Those words grounded me. I wasn't alone. I had my grandparents, and I had my music. I took a deep breath, reminding myself that I was doing this for me. I wasn't just playing for my parents or Christine. I was playing for the person I had always been inside. The time had come. My name echoed through the speakers, and the applause filled the air. I stepped onto the stage, the lights blinding me for a moment. The crowd seemed distant, and my heart raced. This was my chance, the moment I had worked for. I had to give it everything I had. I took my violin, closed my eyes for a moment, and began to play. Each note carried my emotions, the joy, the pain, the years of waiting. I didn't know if my family was watching, but I hoped they could feel my heart through the music. As I played, I poured all my feelings into the music. The past 7 years of neglect, the longing for my parents' attention, and the love I had for Christine all flowed through my violin. The audience seemed to disappear, and it was just me and my music. I wanted to reach someone, anyone, through the sound. I wanted my family to understand what I had gone through. I wasn't just a daughter in the background. I was a person with dreams and passions of my own. This was my moment to shine, and I wasn't going to waste it. The final note echoed through the hall, and the applause was deafening. I took a deep bow, my heart pounding in my chest. I had done it. I had given everything I had. But as the lights dimmed, my thoughts quickly returned to Christine. I rushed off the stage, ignoring the staff and the lingering applause. My mind was set on one thing: getting to the hospital as quickly as possible. I couldn't be sure that my performance had made a difference, but I had to see her. I needed to know if she heard me. When I arrived at the hospital, I was out of breath, my heart racing. The receptionist looked surprised by my hurry, but when I gave my name, she quickly guided me to Christine's room. I opened the door, and the first thing I saw was Christine's face lighting up. "Big sister!" she cried. I could barely hold back my tears. It had been so long, but here she was, smiling at me like nothing had changed. The doctor turned to me. "Your performance, it helped her. She's doing better now," he said. I couldn't believe it. My music had made a difference. "Did you watch?" I asked Christine, my voice shaking. She smiled brightly. "I watched everything." Then Christine reached into a drawer by her bed and pulled out a small piece of paper. It was the concert ticket I had made years ago. "Can this still be used?" she asked, laughing softly. I smiled and teased her. "Next time, I'll bring a real ticket." Christine's face lit up with joy, and I felt a warmth in my heart. Maybe things weren't perfect, but for the first time in years, I felt like we were finally starting to heal as a family.